Hi, my name is Kim Mastrofino, and welcome to On the Beat. With me today is Martin Chan. Unfortunately, Joe, our other Beat team member, is not able to be here. He's not feeling well, so we wish him, well today, and he'll be on next week. So, but we'll take the driver's seat, I guess, or be in the driver's seat and cover for Joe. So, but anyway, just wanted to check in with Martin. I know that he has some updates on the weather. So, Martin, how's it going today?
Oh, hey, doing good. Right now it's cloudy and it's I think a little rainy right now. But a lot of fog lately.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah,
of fog.
yeah. It's supposed to be really warm today too, right?
Yeah, really warm, about up to 50 or so.
Ooh, I
hmm
kind of liking that. I wish the sun would come out though.
I wish the sun come out too, but there's no sun. It's
Yeah, well,
cloudy.
not today maybe, but maybe another day. So thank you for that update. That was
Y-
really that was informative. I always look forward to that. So
yep, that's good.
anyways, so Joe normally would do the community update, so I'm acting as Joe today. So I'm going to give people some information on what's going on. So just a reminder: don't forget to check out the Westerly Library's website for all the activities they are offering virtually for adults and children. They offer some pretty amazing ones, so check it out. Also, the Stonington pop-up book is now available. So please visit the Ocean Community Chamber's website for more information on where you can purchase the book. And they also give an option where you can do a mail order. So please check that out. Also, the Ocean Community Chamber is also bringing back Sunday Fun Day, and that will begin April 18th. And so this has always been a successful way to promote the Downtown Business Association, and it's a lot of fun, and you get to run into many people safely, and it's a win-win. So check that out, and we look forward to getting down there and being part of it. So that's the updates. So now on to why we're here. We have a very special guest. This guy's a great guy, and he does so much for our community. His name is the Reverend Dr. Wayne Eberly. So please welcome Pastor Wayne. Hello.
With you.
Hello.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
inviting me.
It's a pleasure to have you on. So I know that you're very busy, so we do appreciate the time that you're spending to share what you're doing and, all about the Duns Corners Community Church. And so you have quite a church community, and you're well loved in our area. So we do appreciate you. So as you know, Martin and Joe usually conduct the interview questions. So it's going to be me and Martin conducting the questions. So we won't be too hard on you.
Right.
Be gentle.
Yeah, you can just put up your hand and say stop anytime.
Right.
So we won't be too harsh on you. But anyway, so welcome, Pastor Wayne. So for those new to the broadcast, can you tell us about yourself and your role as pastor for the Duns Corners Community Church?
So the pastor of the church does a lot of things, but I don't do them alone. In the Presbyterian church, which we're part of, we have elected leaders. They're called the elders, the deacons, and the trustees. So it's a lot of people that work. But Kim, you had mentioned the community part of our name. We're the Duns Corners Community Church, and we are Presbyterian. This church was formed in 1950 in Duns Corners, which is, several miles outside of downtown Westerly. And today it feels like we're all part of the city. But back at that time, it was right after World War II. There'd been gasoline rationing, and the people felt pretty disconnected from downtown Westerly. So they formed a church. But it really was a community church. The fire department had a role in it. There was a neighborhood store that was an anchor, and everybody knew each other. And I think that community aspect continues to guide who we are. We were having a little fun before the thing. A few years ago, the fire department here in Duns Corners asked me to be their chaplain, and they gave me this big fancy helmet. And I when I can, I help them and say prayers at their meetings. But as a community church, We host recovery groups. We have 2 recovery groups. We host a scout group that's just a fantastic gathering for families and young children. Unfortunately, as you can imagine, all of those things, the in-person aspect has been put aside. But as a church, one of my roles is to lead worship, and we have worship on Sunday mornings. We have worship on a Wednesday night Vesper service. And then we do a variety of things in the community. The Warm Center, the Johnny Cake. We've participated with Habitat for Humanity. So it's just a lot of things that we do. And I get to have some fun. Yesterday, we went at the ice skating rink in downtown Westerly for the kids, and we had 40 or 50 people out there finally able to do something after all of this isolation. So it's a real mixture, serious things, joyful things, and in all of it, it's a good blessing.
Well, thank you for that information. And I just want to give a shout out, if Cal Lord is watching, check out the hat from Dungs Corners Fire Department.
Oh, wow.
I know he's very envious of that because he didn't get one. So if he's listening, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
So Martin, I think you got the next question. You ready to go?
I think so. Hey, Wayne. How has COVID-19 affected how you're operating now?
I'm guessing everybody remembers a particular date with the COVID. For us, it was Friday the 13th of March. We were planning to have worship that next Sunday, the 15th. And then I guess the governor must have announced that they were either stopping or whatever in-person worship. So we canceled services, and it really caught us off guard. We have never been strong with technology, and so we weren't prepared at all to do anything online. And we were in a bit of a quandary. That was Friday the 13th. Early the next week, one of our elders said his son had been working at a place doing video, and because of the virus had been laid off, and that his son would be willing to help us. So he came, he filmed a service on a Thursday, he edited, produced it, and by Sunday, March 22nd, we were having online worship, which was really a miracle because we had nothing prepared. He worked with us. His name was Kyle, just a great young man. And I guess he knew how much it meant to us. But I would tell him, thank you, thank you, thank you. And he'd say, this has meant more to me than what I had done, because he was able to use his gifts. So we had Sunday worship. We canceled all of our in-person activities, but then gradually over time, we were able to add them back in. We learned how to do Zoom meetings, as obviously just about everyone has, but that was brand new to us. Where we can, we do in person, but we've had to be real careful. We, unfortunately for us, but it was good for the family, come about August, Kyle, who had been filming our services, he and his family moved to Philadelphia. And so we were without our video. But God provided, because right when the virus hit, we had invested in a very expensive sound system. And we said, what would it cost to add the video to it? They said not much. And so we added video. The Sunday after Kyle left, we started live streaming the service. So it's just like little signs along the way that God was going to provide for us. This is something that touched my heart. When Kyle was finishing up, he had volunteered his time for 4 or 5 months. I found out that he wanted a rather expensive piece of equipment for a camera. And so I was trying to hint where I could get it and things. And he figured out we were trying to give him a gift. And he said, you know what, Pastor Wayne, he said, I really don't want a gift. He said, but if you want to do something, can you pay it forward? And I said, well, what do you mean? And Kyle said that when he was in high school, he had gone through cancer. And yeah, and when he was really down, a group called the Tomorrow Fund, which does things for young people and families going through cancer, they had provided for him to go see a Patriots game. And he just, it lifted his spirits and things. He said, if you wanted to do something to thank me, you can pay it forward and give a gift to the Tomorrow Fund. And the Sunday that Kyle left, we were able to give over $2,000 to the Tomorrow Fund. And you just go, some of these things they're what keep us going. It was a really special thing. So that's a bit of what we've done. We've learned how to Zoom and live stream and whatnot. Yeah.
Wow, that's very fascinating.
It was amazing. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
You would think God was watching over us.
Oh yeah.
Well, you have pull, with the man upstairs, I guess, right?
Yeah, the man upstairs.
It really is amazing how things work out.
Yeah, that's special. That's really special. And it is a new world and a new way we function. And thank God for technology,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, I think, yes, it's amazing. But I know none of us can wait until we can do things in person again. Everybody's missed that. And I hear it in so many ways that we're managing, we're finding a new way, but we miss that time together. So
Yeah. I know it'll happen. We're almost there, I think.
I think, and praise the Lord, Martin, you gave a nice weather report. The days are getting a little bit longer, and I think that kind of brightens all of our spirits. So
yeah.
Oh, thank you, Wayne. That's awesome.
So Wayne, I know you mentioned prior in conversation about your worship services. Can you go in a little more detail on that? I know that you're doing it a little differently, but can you explain a little further on that?
Well, I thought in terms of that, the Presbyterian Church is a fairly traditional service. So we use a liturgy and we do a call to worship, confession of sin, assurance of pardon. We sing the doxology and the Gloria. We can't sing now, that, or at least that's how we've interpreted the rules from the state, that's a real way to spread. So our services now are very, very different. They're shorter in that we don't sing. We have people hum along if they would like to do that. But I think people have really missed the music. Before the virus, our church had such beautiful music. We've got a wonderful choir, a really great bell ministry, and we would host concerts through Music on the Hill and with the Shoreline Ringers. So we've missed that. But when we record our services, because we have the distancing and there's no people in the congregation, it's an empty house when we film, we're able to sing the hymns and things. So our online service has the singing and some of the bells, and we've tried to add that in. But my sense is the music is what's missed more than anything. And we can't wait to do that again. But something that the church does have, unrelated to the virus, we have an outdoor chapel.
Yes.
And in the summertime, when the weather's good, we meet there for our worship service. And if you've ever worshiped outdoors, you almost don't need to do anything except sit there. The wind blows, the sun shines, the birds sing, and it's a really special part of our church. So we can't wait till we can get outside and have we call it the Chapel in the Pines. We look forward to doing that again.
I've been to your Christmas service in the past before COVID, and it was lovely. And the bell choir, and it's just such a wonderful experience. And so that was very special. And
we can't wait to get some of that back again.
Yeah, all in good time, I guess, right?
I've been over the last few weeks, because it feels like we're all really trying to figure out how to keep going. This has lasted so long. I've been preaching about something called Partners in Faith, and I've been looking at people in the Bible and how they handled their hard times and what we can learn from that. Sometimes it's helpful to remember we're not the first people that have faced a challenge, and the Bible tells about people who have been through really hard times. But a week ago, I preached a sermon. It's from the Old Testament, and it's where Moses is lifting up his hands, and his hands get tired. And so people stand on his right and his left. Their names were Aaron and Hur, and they hold his hands up when he gets tired. And I thought, that's something we all need in our life right now. We can't do it alone. And we've just got to find ways both to receive support, but also to give it to others. So, we're trying to encourage everyone to hang in there and keep reaching out and standing together.
That's awesome. Martin, would you like to take the next question?
Yes. Can you describe the adult programs you offer?
Yeah. Thank you, Martin.
No
We
problem.
we offer Bible studies on Tuesday morning and then Wednesday night. We've been doing those by Zoom, but normally they're in person, and we've really done a extensive study. It's a disciple Bible study, and the people read ahead of time. There's homework and questions, which instead of people being bothered by that, they really enjoy the chance to study and learn. So we did 1 year that was an overview of the Bible, 1 year that looked more closely at Genesis and Exodus in the Old Testament, and the book of Luke and Acts in the New Testament. This last year, when we got cut short, we had looked at the prophets in the Old Testament and the letters of Paul in the New Testament. So the Bible studies are a really important thing. We also started a project, and you guys have mentioned Cal Lord a couple times. Cal was in our clergy group in September of 2017, and Houston had just suffered that terrible Hurricane Harvey that flooded the city. And Cal, we had used to live in Houston, and so Cal said, Wayne, is there something we could do for Houston? And out of that, several local churches, including Central Baptist and others, we went down that spring and did a mission trip. We lived in a trailer. We went out and helped people. And then the next year, our group went down to North Carolina and did hurricane recovery. So we study the Bible, but then we try to find ways to get out and put it into practice. And with that, the first Saturday of every month, we take dinner to the Warm Center, and we serve the meal to the friends that come for that. Because of all the safety issues now with the virus, what we're doing is we're collecting individual frozen meals, and we take them and they hand them out. So it's not quite the same, but they found a good way to do it. We do numerous food drives for Johnny Cake, and people are actively involved. They're working. We go to Habitat for Humanity and help them build their houses. And we've got a group called Family Housing Support that recognize that when people are facing homeless situations, a lot of the shelters aren't able to receive children so that the family can't come. And this is trying to help families find places. So a lot of good things like that. But we also just need fellowship. And so we've done things like the Cliff Walk in Newport. We went to La Salette to look at the Christmas lights. Right before we canceled everything, we had a trip scheduled to Sturbridge Village, and I'd never been there, and I was excited, and we had to cancel that, but we'll get back there and do that someday. And during the virus, we've played online bingo. We have an online trivia night coming up. We've had online scavenger hunts. And so, people find ways to keep going together. And if I could add just two other things that we do, we have a monthly luncheon, which we'll start doing it again when we can, for those who are over 70. And for many people, they're not able to get together as much. And so we come and we have a small worship service. Then we have lunch. We'll play bingo. We'll sing songs. And it's a really nice thing. It's open to the whole community. And many of those who come aren't church members, but they just like to have that time to be together. So those are some of the things we do.
Wow. That's awesome. That's amazing.
That's a lot. You guys do a lot.
It is. It is.
That's
It's a very active
yeah.
church.
Keeps you busy and out of trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for that vote of confidence.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So Pastor Wayne, can you describe your early learning center and the programs you offer for children? And I'm trying to wrap my head around how that's working for you during COVID.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think to answer that, I'll tell what we normally do, and then the best that we've tried. So Dunn's Corners, and I don't know if it's because, again, like we were a little bit out of the mainstream part of Westerly, being on the outskirts, but sometime back in the 70s, two women who had children decided to start a daycare, and it grew to be a ministry of the church, and it's now got professional staff and things. They do a great job. It's open to everyone. It's a really good ministry. One of the things that we value is we want people to participate, and if you've ever had to get childcare, a preschool program, it can be a difficult challenge financially. And so we have scholarships and we help those families who wouldn't be able to do it. And that's a really important thing. We don't want anyone to go without. And along with that, we have a before school and after school program called Kid Care, where the buses were able to bring the kids to and take them home from that. That's had to be put on hold with the virus. And so, it really hurts some of the things we haven't been able to do. But the Early Learning Center is still going really well. It's got an enrollment of about 20 kids. The parents are very supportive and involved, and our staff is just a wonderful group. We did go ice skating yesterday with the kids, and that was nice. But all of the in-person things, we've been careful, but I think the parents have been careful too. And so they haven't really wanted to have their kids come mix with, when you get a church, you're coming from all kinds of different areas. So we really haven't done much in person. Historically, we did a trunk or treat where we had the parking lot filled up with cars, and every car was decorated. And on Halloween, the kids would come around to the trunks, and it was just a lot of fun. We do an Easter egg hunt, all the things that you might do with children. But trying to figure out how do you do it in the coronavirus has been a challenge. And our children's director and our Christian education committee, they've done things like they took Easter in a little bag. They put all the Easter activities, crafts, candies, and delivered it to each family so they had some things to do. At Valentine's, the kids made some crafts and some cards, and then each family that made them delivered it to one of the older members in the church to try to be a link. So you got a chance to work on a project and then brighten somebody's day. And there've been a lot of that kind of thing. But there's no doubt we're concerned about the children. Isolation is just hard for everyone, but I think for the little ones. So we keep going forward trying to do some of that. Our youth group did something that I was very proud of them. Our youth director's name was Michael Walton, and one of our elders who works with the youth, her name is Susan Brand. She's a professor at University of Rhode Island. They put together a racial justice forum, and they invited in guest speakers, including Mal Davis, who's the pastor at the Pleasant Street Baptist Church here in town. And for 5 weeks, they looked at different areas of racial justice. With the virus, there's also been that huge attention to the racial inequalities and injustices. And the youth group led it. They interviewed the guests. It was a very meaningful time, and it was all live streamed. So, there were just a few people observing it. And I feel like that's an important thing for them to do. Before the virus hit, we had a youth group trip scheduled to Ghana, Africa. Wow. 22 people were going to go. They were raising money. There was great enthusiasm, and that's on hold. We hope to reschedule it. But we want kids to belong. We want them to have that experience of community. But we want them to realize they can make a difference in the world, and they're going to do it. I don't know when, but they're going to get there, and it'll be a very powerful experience. So, those are some of the things we do and ways we're trying to cope in this time.
Wow. Well, all amazing.
Yeah.
And you'll get where you want to go, and that'll
Isn't
happen.
that, yeah, patience, perseverance, patience.
Yeah. So, Mark, do you want to do the last question?
Oh, yes. What else would you like others to know?
Well, I tried to remind myself of this, Martin, when you asked that question.
Right.
To remind myself, God is good.
Oh, that's good.
Not everything works out, but God is good. So I was telling you about the Early Learning Center, and just these things happen that are a blessing. And you guys, let me know how much time I have. I don't want to go too long. But one of the families from the Early Learning Center came to our Christmas bazaar a few years ago. And we have a raffle in the bazaar, and there was a beautiful little kid's bike. And the way that you participate in the raffle is you buy a ticket and put it in the container that you wanted. And so there's this little container for the bicycle, and the little girl, about 4 years old, she put one ticket in. And her dad said, "Don't you want more than one ticket? Because, your odds for winning will go up." And she says, "Nope, I only need one." Oh. And sure enough, her name got pulled out, and she won the bicycle.
Oh, wow.
That would have been great in itself. But about
amazing.
2 months later, that family came to church. And after that, they joined the church, and the little girl, every Sunday, she's there smiling. and you just think, how do these things happen? It's not chance. And so I really do believe that God is good. And I wanted to tell you guys this, if you have any interest. Our church, these used to be in the pews, these teddy bears, and there's a little note that tells about them. And what happens is we encourage people to take the teddy bear with them and give it to somebody who might be going through a hard time. It lets them know that we're praying for them. Well, with the virus, we had to pull them out because you can't have bulletins or anything. But now people will pick the bears up and they'll put them in the mail. They've gone to Wisconsin, they've gone to Arizona, to Florida, because people are mailing them during the virus to people who are struggling. And if you ever know someone that you think would benefit from this, let us know. We've got a bunch of them, and you can give us the address and we'll send it, because we want people to know that we care about them.
Oh, that's so special. Very
Wow.
creative too.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's very special. Well, Pastor Wayne, it's always a pleasure to see you, and you're just amazing and such an inspiration to our community. And so we do appreciate you. I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, we wish you well now and in the coming months, and good luck. Also, Martin, thank you for being such a great host. You did a great job today. And a special thank you to Ben Barber for producing our broadcast. And so for all that listened in, thank you so much. And you can also view it later on as well on our social media pages. So please keep an eye on our Facebook page for our next broadcast. We do have Leo Roach. He is the owner of the Brazen Hen in Westerly. So we look forward to visiting with him next week. So in the meantime, stay safe and healthy and enjoy the rest of your week. And
well, that's it for now. We'll see you next time on the beat.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.